Hey everyone, I'm on here sharing my 5 unpopular or contrarian views on freelancing. And I wanted to come to you live at 9:30 at night my time because I got ready for a late dinner I had planned with friends, put on makeup, drank a Bang Energy, only to find out that the dinner was actually tomorrow. So I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm wired with caffeine and I have makeup on. What else am I going to do? It's 9:30. Let's make a video and create some content while I have the energy. So there's a lot of different views and opinions out there about freelance writing. What are the best ways to get clients? So many differing views. So what I wanted to do is come on here and share what my contrarian or controversial or maybe unpopular opinions are, and hopefully you'll learn something. So number 1 is that you don't have to create your own content to get freelance clients. So I see a lot of people who put effort into creating an email list and creating social content, getting on LinkedIn and creating thought leadership posts, creating their own blogs. None of that is necessary to get clients, because in those instances, you're thinking like a marketer versus a salesperson. A marketer builds this marketing engine and wants to generate leads and attract this large audience. But as a freelance writer, you don't need a large audience. You actually just need a handful of well-paying clients, and you are more than good. That will sustain you, and you can make a really good income with 5 clients, and you'll actually be a lot happier, because managing 5 clients who pay you well is much more worth it than handling 10 clients, right? So that's number 1, is that you don't need to think like a marketer. You don't need to go out of your way to create an email list and a fancy website. Just a regular website will do. You don't need to try to drive traffic to that website. You can really rely on cold outreach and be fine. Number 2 is to stop picking the fun niches. So I get a lot of students in my courses and a lot of people that reach out to me, and their niche is health and wellness, or they target female entrepreneurs or course creators. And while all of that stuff is fun and you want to make an impact and you want to be really passionate about what you're doing, you're better off focusing on what there is a need for. So instead of focusing on what you're passionate about, see what the market is looking for. And that's 100% why I'm in technology. It's not because I'm a tech nerd and because I'm super passionate about it. It's just that I know I can write for that audience. I understand that industry because I used to work in it. And I know that I can make a sustainable living. And that's not sexy and fun and cool, but it's realistic and it's reliable. And at this point in my life, I do need a consistent income, and you probably do too. So that's why I always recommend, and this is something I teach in my course, is look at your prior work experience. What did you do before, and what do you have knowledge in that you can take and position that as an asset to your clients? So I had one student, shout out to Trish if you're seeing this or watching this, but she was in healthcare utilization. So she helped healthcare companies understand if they were being profitable and if they were using all their resources to the best of their ability. And she targeted those companies and she got responses pretty quick, because she was able to position herself as somebody who was in that industry before and was an expert. So going with what you have concrete experience in and something that there's a high demand for, whether it's finance or tech or one of those industries like crypto, you will have a better chance of making a sustainable living choosing something like that versus the fun niches that are really popular and that are really saturated. Number 3, this is a bit of a weird one, but law of attraction is not going to get you clients. I see so many coaches and courses and stuff talking about law of attraction, and maybe I'm just biased because that's not my vibe, but I've actually gone really deep down the law of attraction rabbit hole. I have read books on it. I had a phase where I did the whole law of attraction secret manifestation. I do believe there are some science-based skills that you can hone when it comes to positive psychology that will serve you and that will help you exude a more confident, positive energy. I believe that you can train your brain to look for opportunities and look for positive things, and that will help you become more successful and make more money. But I get really suspicious of people who are like, just do your vibe, girl, and everything will work out. Like, it's just, when people teach law of attraction, when it doesn't work for you and you don't get results, you notice it becomes your fault, right? Like, oh, you're just not positive enough, right? So be, I would say, cautious about people whose entire business strategy is manifestation. If I never hear the word manifestation again in my life, I'll be good. So number 4 is stop being shy and get on the phone with clients. And this is a big bummer for a lot of writers because we don't like talking to people. We're usually introverted. I know I am. And it's not that I don't like talking to people. It's that after I do, I get very drained and I have to be in a quiet room for 4 hours and recharge, right? So it can be kind of a bummer when you have to get on a phone with a client and sell yourself. It's not writer's favorite activity, but it's so critical if you're going to take clients who are spending thousands of dollars per month with you. They need to have that face-to-face connection, and they need to establish some sort of relationship with you and trust the people who they're giving money to. There's so much that can be established with a face-to-face connection. I know for me, I would never choose to get on camera the way that I'm doing with my online course, but I know that if I'm just some anonymous voice behind a phone, behind a computer, I'm not going to be able to establish trust. So I really push myself to get on camera and speak to the camera, because I know you can see in my eyes and through the way that I'm emoting whether or not you connect with me and whether I'm somebody that you would trust, right? Whereas if it was just my voice or just through email, it doesn't have the same connection. So you have to take that with your clients too. Like, hey, if they're going to spend money with me, they need to see who I am and that I'm normal and that I'm reliable. And quite honestly, that's something that I need to work on in my own freelance business, is checking in with clients more, getting on their radar more. Like I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Just like, I want to be as easy to work with as possible. And that means staying off in the corner. And I really want to be more outgoing and just say, hey, we've been working together for a month. It's time to hop on a call. Let's have some face-to-face time. And that's not my favorite thing to do, but I have to push myself. So get on the phone with your clients. Number 5, and this is the last one, is that learning to sell yourself and cold pitch clients and pitch your services to clients is actually more important than learning copywriting. So a lot of copywriters get this mixed up, and I notice even on YouTube, my videos with the highest views are always the ones where I'm talking about copywriting books. It's the number one request I get is, what are the best copywriting books to learn copywriting? And this sounds counterintuitive, but you're actually better off pitching yourself to clients and just writing blog posts in the beginning, because blogs are the lowest hanging fruit to get your foot in the door with copywriting, and you can make a full-time living just writing blog posts. And then you work your way up. You can work your way up to emails, to landing pages, to case studies, maybe even white papers. So there's all these different type of copywriting projects, but blog posts are the easiest because blog posts are the equivalent to a college level essay or even a high school level essay. If you were taught how to write an essay that has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, you can write a blog post. So your best bet is to pitch the client with your own self-made samples. This is something I teach on my website and I teach it in my course. Whether you go on my blog and get it for free or hop into my course and learn how to create your portfolio, you're better off creating your own blog post, pitching it to clients, getting them as a client, and just learning as you go and getting the feedback. And the more that you get feedback, that's what makes you a writer, not learning copywriting books and sitting there and trying to study. I genuinely don't know if you can actually learn copywriting at all unless you actually work for clients. And that sounds counterintuitive because we all want to feel as though we are prepared to do certain things, but it's just like getting any other job. If you got a job as an administrative assistant at a law firm, would you sit there and study to become an administrative assistant and try to prepare yourself? No, you would really rely on the on-the-job experience and what they're teaching you when you show up. And that's how you would learn. I mean, you have your skill set when you become an administrative assistant. You know how to answer phones. You know how to be client facing. You know how to be professional. So you show up with your skills. And we have to do that as freelance writers too. And that's where your past experience comes in, where you could say, oh, you know, I actually have experience with this target audience. I understand how to write for them. I have these writing skills. Don't think you need to be an expert the minute you show up. So those are my 5 unpopular contrarian beliefs about freelance writing. If any of this resonated with you, please let me know. If you learned something, let me know. I love hearing from you guys. Good night.